sites, which site we are talking about. Maybe sites such as Bukit Batu Pahat, where we see a bigger temple, or Bukit Choras, there could be a monastic population over there. But it depends on which site we are referring to. But most of the trading population, it could have been temporarily settled.
What would be how would the communities there be communicating with each other? Or what language would they have used?
We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, but if there's been such a lot of training activities, right? They must be talking and how?
Yeah, of course, but we don't have any inscriptions written in local language in Kedah. All the inscriptions that we discovered so far consisted of short Sanskrit texts. Maybe the Ye Dharma formula, the Sagaramati formula, but we have not discovered any, even a single piece of inscription mentioning anything outside religious. And we are not quite sure what language was spoken there. But if I am going to make a guess, based on the distribution of explanation language, they could, maybe one of the language which could have been spoken there, maybe an explanation language. As an explanation, maybe an old form of Malay. But that is just a calculated guess, we don't have direct evidence.
But you've also not found sort of complete Buddhist sutras intact, complete, not just inscriptions.
No, just the longest inscription that we discovered are the one that I discovered in Bukit Choras. That is the longest one. It contains like 6 verses only.
Can you hear me? Okay, morning, Dr. Nasha. I just had a question to ask. Basically, from what I've read previously, I know that there is actually reports of studies being done to make Rodziadi as a UNESCO site. However, it was not being considered until today. Do you think that if we press on to continue with the technical reports of the studies, and we even implemented certain guidelines that was being put in the report, what are some of the benefits that we can derive if assuming that the Rodziadi become a UNESCO heritage site?
In order for Rodziadi, or not just Rodziadi, I think ancient Kedah to get the UNESCO World Heritage Site, we need to prove the OUV, the outstanding universal value. It is a character that only Rodziadi possess that no other places have. And in order to prove that, we need to conduct proper research. If you ask me, my guess for Rodziadi, the OUV lies in the multiculturalism, the cultural complexity, the economic diversity. But to do that, we need proper research and it takes time. I don't think that we should be in a hurry to go for this. We need to strengthen our research. We need to spread heritage awareness. We need to spread appreciation of history among the local community first. And then when we are ready, we can go for that. But let us focus on the most important thing first. Take care of the archaeological sites. Do proper empirical research and make sure that we spread the right narrative, the right data about the area, and we are doing that right now, but we shouldn't be in a hurry about this UNESCO. Okay?
I have a question. As we studied history in USM back in the 70s, I'm concerned about how much of your narrative or your discoveries are going into our history books, because I am a history teacher, I was. And when I went to school in the 1960s, late 60s, I had chapters on Indianized kingdoms. Of course, it looks like we need to rephrase that based on what you discovered. And that's been steadily reduced and reduced. So the narrative you're painting here is the narrative of what we need for this present Southeast Asia, actually. It kind of replicates ASEAN in a way, the kind of journeys, in my mind. So how much of this is getting into our history textbooks? Because I think that's fundamental and connected to what you just said, that the local population need to buy into the narrative.
Yeah, doing research and producing new data on Rodziadi is one issue, but getting them into a textbook is a separate issue. And that's two different, totally unrelated things. But I think we are moving forward right now because it appears that the government of Malaysia, through the National Heritage Department, through the museums department, they are adopting this narrative into their galleries. I am the one who wrote the storyline for the Rodziadi Archaeological Museum, in fact. So I think we are making a step. We are making good progress right now. But to really incorporate this narrative into the textbook will take some time. We need to make sure that not just the local people understand, but also the teachers understand.
So we are actually doing baby steps to secure our peers.
We have to do this slowly. But the most important thing right now is to strengthen the research, to conduct more excavation, to have more community engagement program, to tell people as much as we can about what we are doing here. Okay, so that is the point. But I think to fully incorporate this into the textbook, it is not something impossible. We can do this, but we need to continuously engage with the government. Okay, if the government understands what we're doing, I'm sure that they are going to incorporate. But we need to engage with them and we need to understand also their situations. So that's why being an archaeology is not just about thinking about it also. So we need to approach this in a wise way, aside from data, we also need wisdom to deal with this.
Okay, Doctor, I have a question. I'm from East Tech with my supervisor, Dr. Mehmet, and my friends. I want to know because I can see you have a very vast historical reference. I want to understand how the motivation along the way, on which script you will spend more time understanding, or how the process you collect of the historical text, like you showed just now. And also another one, is it the discipline that you incorporate while doing this? Because I want to understand in your study, is it you who are strict with your discipline, that you don't want simply claims and add it to the history? Or how is it based on certain discipline that you have become the building, monument and scriptures, then only you have the robust summary of the thing? Thank you.
For our research in the Rodziadi, there are three facets of the research. Okay, there are three facets. Number one is the archaeological excavation. To get the primary data is something that nobody else can do. Okay, we need to have a team, we need to have the logistics to dig and have the material. Facet number two is to interpret the data. To interpret data, we need a strong team. Okay, I myself, my specialization is historical archaeology. I study Sanskrit language for my PhD. So and then we have other scientific team. And number three is the most important thing actually is the community engagement initiative. So there are three facets of research, and all three of them have to run at the same time. Okay, first we excavate, and at the same time we excavate, we need to also gather all the material, the Sanskrit materials, and translate them at the same time. And at the same time, we have to run the LiDAR. We have to send a geological team to collect the soil sample. And at the same time, I have a special staff who engage with the communities, bring them to an archaeological site, explain what is happening. So we don't do that in stages actually, it happens at the same time. So in order to conduct any archaeological support, archaeological research, you need to have one thing, you need to have an institutional support. It is very important. You need to have a team, you need to get support from the government, you need to get support from the NGOs, you need to get support from the media. So that's why we need to maintain good relation with everyone when we do archaeological research. And the best way to maintain good relation is to try to understand everyone's situation. Okay? For instance, when we do excavations, we are excavating on state land. Natural excavated state land, and we need to understand local sensitivities for them. Okay, we need to put ourselves in their shoes. Okay, it is Bukit Coras. Bukit Coras is located in Adun Sungai Limau. Adun Sungai Limau is a strong pass. It is a pass stronghold. So we need to talk to them. These people, they are reasonable. Okay, we need to talk to them to make them understand, and we got support from the local. Okay, despite their forecast, they supported our work. And then when we study history, the Sanskrit language and everything, we need to engage with scholars in Sanskrit language. That's why it is the management of connectivity which is very important. So that is the thing that I learned from management of connectivity. So like I said, the three facets of research need to run at the same time. getting data, interpreting data, and communicating data. 3 things. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Khaw. Thank you, Dr. Nasha. I think this is the first time I'm listening. This is the first time I'm listening to an archaeologist, and I found it so fascinating. But I was just wondering, following up from what you said and what the earlier speaker said, is there any kind of engagement or cooperation between the archaeologists and the historians and maybe even the medical specialists? Because now we see someone who's can link the DNA to whatever. I was just wondering, in Malaysia itself, do you collaborate or engage with or interact with historians, with medical specialists who are also doing this kind of work,
Definitely, yes. Part of my team, I have historians. Part of the team, from the historical section of USM, and we also collaborate with epigraphists and philologists from other countries also, mostly from the University of Indonesia, the Department of Archaeology, and they have philology with that. We also collaborate with somebody from the International Buddhist College in Southern Thailand, in Hanya, I think. International Buddhist College, he is an expert in this Buddhist theology. And we also collaborate with geologists, we also collaborate with people from the medical campus who studies bones and everything. So archaeology is a truly multidisciplinary thing. We use different methods to answer questions about ancient human activities. And what the Center for Archaeology do, we gather all the data and we try to construct a narrative based on those. So collaboration was very important, but collaboration is also very expensive. Because when we do the analysis, then we are expected to fork out the money for the analysis. So that's why we need to calibrate between the necessity and the budget that we have.
Yeah, just to add on that, since you asked about collaboration, right? Yeah, for example, like myself, I work with medical ethnography. So we also work with the community. That's actually how we got to know. I actually got to know Dr. Nasha. So it comes together. But I think if you put the mind and the intentions right, and then it's slowly the PRs and all that, so it gets together slow by slow. And I have a question with regards to this culture, because I believe culture and tradition, the things like that. That's what I mentioned on culture, tradition, and civilization. They also have the art and the science of it coming out, and I believe that everything has a significant reason to come out. For now, for the students' perspective, why is it so important for us to know these things? So this is just where there are some students
Why
here.
is it important for them to know?
Yeah, for us to go and do this finding. Why is it important to sustain our heritage?
Okay, number one is archaeology. When it comes to not just archaeology, for any field of research, it is not static. It's always dynamic. With new discoveries, we would have new interpretations. Before this, we have 3 school of thoughts when it comes to the history of Jambi. There are 3 school of thoughts. Number one, we have the school of thought of colonization, where they believe that the people of ancient Kedah were 100% Indianized, they only practice Indian culture. And that is the school of thought was supported by College Wales, Nilakanta Sastry, and Ramsey Rodziadi. And then we have the Indianization school of thought by Alastair Ryan, supported by QnA. So they say that the people were Indianized, but they mixed with indigenous culture. And then we have the trade school of thought, where they say that the people of Kedah were not Indianized at all. And all the findings that they have was left by traders. And I was actually coming from the third school of thought. And then with my new discovery, I totally changed. I said that all 3 are strong. I said that people in the Mujahideen, they are complex. Different segments of communities will have different level of acceptance towards Indian culture. So the thing that they need to know, because the idea and history keep on changing with new discoveries, and they need to be updated, especially historical and archaeological students. That is very important. And I don't know what I'm going to discover next year. So that's why from time to time it is important for us to communicate our findings, and they need to know. So that when they write the assignment, at least they can be informed about what's happening.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Nasha. I think we'll take the Q&A session we will cut short the Q&A sessions. And now, thank you very much. Okay. I'd just like to thank everyone present here. And I would also like to thank the organizer for this Faith and Legacy series seminar, which is the veteran Research Center for Humanistic Buddhism. I'd like to just say a few words about it. In University of Malaya here itself, we do have a Humanistic Buddhist Research Center, which is actually funded by the was founded by the Foguachuan Humanistic Buddhist Center itself. And recently we opened another research center at the in Peshawar in Pakistan itself. So we are doing many research-based activities over here. So if you would like to actually have a look or actually talk to us about it, please come and see us. You can see Dr. Wong over here or myself. Yeah, and this is basically the Humanistic Buddhist Research Center in Islamabad, and this is actually Humanistic Buddhist Research Center, University of Malaya. So, well, thank you. Come again? Okay, for that I would call Venerable Yuan to actually explain on that. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm the advisor and researcher of the Humanistic Buddhism Research Center in UM and Kedah University in Islamabad. We set up this center with the purpose of we want to embark on the research regarding the Gandhara civilization and Gandhara Buddhism. This is our main objective. And in UM, we open to have the cross-department, cross-field kind of research. Like we have a collaboration with the IT department and anthropology department, education department, as well as the history department. Regarding the history, or this is something like the Buddhism research, we already kicked off a research on Yi Jing monk, according to his his book. So we involve the historian, archaeologists, and also philosophers as well. I think Dr. Nasha, our Prof. Danny sent you the invitation to be part of our project. I'm not sure if you reply him yet or not. So this project led by our former dean, Prof. Danny Wong. So this is the project that ongoing. We started last year, but it is still ongoing for the following 2 years. Am I answering? Lately, last month, on the 19th of May, we just conducted the international conference of the Buddhism in Pakistan in Islamabad. So you can get some information through our website and also from our Facebook and Instagram. If you have interest, you're welcome to contact us. Our center just in the Chinese Studies Department, same floor, opposite the Red Chamber Research Center. Thank you.
We will have our next talks. That's in September 11. That's on who are the titles of who are the women of pure Buddhist faith, and history and ethnography of vegetarian nuns in Singapore and Malaysia. Okay, we will send out the we will send out the information to all your email address. If you have left us with your email, so we will receive this, and then you can register for this September event. Okay. Just before we end, we would like to invite our center advisor, Dr. Venerable Yu Deng, and to present some souvenir to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Nasha. Okay, thank you, Honorable and Dr. Nasha. So that is the end of our forum. So you are welcome. Okay, please hang on. We can take a group photo. Thank you.
Ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
太全了吧？基本是全的。哦。